I'd like to talk a little bit about BLUEcloud. And anytime you find yourself in a situation where your computer is down or workflows just isn't playing nice for you, but you still need to circulate books or check them back in, you can use BLUEcloud. We have a portal for our items that are web accessible. So you can use this, for example, in inventory, or like I mentioned, in a pinch. So I'm going to visit our portal. So it's a simple address, tccsa.impohio.org, very generic here. And there's just 3 links. And we are able to access BLUEcloud. You all, if you aren't set up, I can do this setup for you, but you're all going to use your username. That would just be the same username for signing into workflows. The ending is going to be the same for all of us, and your password is the same for workflows. This is basically a light version of workflows. We're not going to do much heavy lifting in here. We're not going to do reports. We're just coming in because we're in a pinch and we want to get a student checked out real quick. And I either don't have time or my tech team can't get to my computer fast enough to get me back up and running. So this way you're never stuck. So I'm in a test environment here, and you might only see 2 buttons, but the 3rd button is a feature that you can make class lists for teachers. So I'll start with the first button, circulation. If I had my scanner plugged in, I just scan the student's barcode. I can also search by name, and then that patron would come up. So I'll pick Erica in this situation. And if they have items checked out, they're already listed. And if I had an item to scan, I would check it out right here. So let me grab an item. My scanner is borrowed out and I will be getting it back soon. So that's why I'm typing by hand. But the scan would put in your barcode very quickly, look up an item, and now I have those items checked out. We can check items, change their due date. If the student needs a special due date, we can print that, and we could also renew straight from here. What I did find was a little not as intuitive would be checking in. So whenever you need to check the items in, you hit this book up here at the top. And so no items have been checked in, but let me come back. I can scan that item now. Let's do the first one that was already out. And hopefully I typed that right. And it's bringing it back in. So I'll close that. So one of those 2 items has been checked in. To return back home, you have the little Circe Dynex icon. I can click home. And the other thing you can do is some cataloging. Depending on the level of access you have, you could actually enter books in here. Again, I'm not sure you would want to do it this way, but it is an option. So I'm able to search for a word. What it's going to search is not only your own collection, but it's going to do the BLUEcloud MARC records, ImpoHio, the Library of Congress, and whenever it picks up on an item, if this was the book I'm trying to catalog, or maybe I'm just looking it up here, there is a feature to edit record. And again, I'm zoomed in pretty big, so that's why everything's pretty squeezed or squished together. So then I'd have all my data here on the right. Whenever I am searching for items, they're going to be listed for all of my buildings. It's not going to be just my building first. And I asked InfoHio about that. So it might be where you come down here and you say, okay, which building is this book at? Okay, now I see it's at my test school, McMullen, but I'm a librarian at the Bud test school. So they do have a smart search in there as well. I can just simply cancel. I'm not going to make a change to this item. But I wanted to give you a quick splash and dash at BLUEcloud. The other link that is there is MobileStaff. And some of you may have been, unfortunately, forced into using this. There is a mobile app, and this would be the web version of MobileStaff. This is even lighter, meaning, boy, I'm in an emergency situation and maybe all I have is my phone or a tablet, or I'm going to set up a kiosk. So this again uses your workflows, username and password. I don't have to set up anything for this. I believe you should be able to log in with what you have. And when you sign in the first time, there's going to be a license code it needs. And then when you sign in, it's going to ask you to select your school. So you will see an entire list of all of our school districts. Let me see if I don't know what district I am currently set to. There we go. So I'm under East Holmes, Walnut Creek, and you all would just see all of our districts like this the first time. I already had the activation key entered, so that's why that screen didn't come up. So if I'm just going to use my TCCSA test building, you select it. It asks you to log in again because I made a change. Several folks use this in the spring during inventory, so it's very handy for that. So here's the inventory button. So somebody can use a scanner, use a Chromebook, and as long as they're logged in, they're able to have multiple people scanning simultaneously. So that's one good use of MobileStaff, or just checking out. So checkout would be up here. You might find yourself where you're taken out of your library for another reason, and you might have a parent volunteer. So if you have a sub account or you give them your account, I would prefer a sub account, but they can log in here. And this is so much simpler for them to use to check students out than say, hey, I got to show you workflows in 30 seconds. So this is an option. The other reason for using MobileStaff could be you're looking to set up a kiosk. So a kiosk mode will let you control what you show. So maybe kids can only check out books. So I'm going to hide. I'm not going to let them check in. And, they would have to have their barcode with them in order to scan. But just like your public library, that's what the kiosk mode would let you do. Or you set up kiosk mode for a much simpler version for that adult who might be the parent volunteer who's helping check in books or check out books. So kiosk mode, again, you're a Chromebook with a scanner plugged into the USB port and logged in, you're ready to go. So these are all tools that reach into your collection, whether it's workflows, which is our full-blown version. You have the BLUEcloud, the Central, which is going to give us a little bit more. And then the very lightweight version called MobileStaff, which also has a mobile app for it. So I wanted to give you that quick splash and dash of those tools and how you can access them for maybe emergency when it's a pinch, or maybe for helping a volunteer with your work. And that's all I have to say about BLUEcloud right now.